Right, welcome to Slam. Hello everyone. This is Slam, Stress Less and Automate More. I'm so excited to be here with you as we kick off season two. Again, let me reintroduce everyone. Let's start off with Kay. Let's go, Kay.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Our name is Kay. I've been in BPO industry for more than a decade now, but I have a fully transitioned to a VA or a remote job. So currently, I'm on a medical VA. So that's it for me. Uh, Thank you, JR.
All right, let's kick it to over to FC.
Well, such a humbling or humble na intro from Kay. So for me, I've been in the BPO industry for more than a decade. Also, been to every facet of the BPO department, you might say, from training, quality assurance, support analyst, human resource, IT. So I've been in the support system uh, of a of a BPO company, and that's why I know that Slam is not just a solution; it's a lifestyle. Back to you, JR.
All right. And once again, I am JR. So I'll introduce myself later on. So this podcast is for the busy professionals. If you're a busy professional in the BPO sector, in the VA sector, then this one's for you, right? Are you tired of getting burned out, ready to reclaim your time? If you're whether you're working remotely and or stuck in office traffic, we're here to help you work smarter, automate the boring stuff, and actually enjoy your day. So I've spent years working with some of the biggest BPOs in IT Park, deep in the world of quality operations and operational excellence, just like FC and NK. So I've seen what works, what burns people out, and where the biggest problems in productivity traps hide. I'm all about helping teams simplify, automate, and build workflows that actually work. So to start things off today, today's episode is what's on everyone's mind is how to get promoted. Right, we're gonna start off with a bang. So we'll break down what really makes you stand out, how to earn trust from leaders, and steps that can take you to move up in your career. All right, so um, I have a PowerPoint ready here, but I'm just gonna go straight to it. Right, so promotion isn't a reward for hard work. It is a recognition of the value you create. So let me just share my screen. Am I sharing my
Right.
screen? Right, perfect. So this the content that I've prepared for you guys is more on for within the Philippine setting, right? It may be different across different cultures. It might be different, um, predominantly in the U.S., in the Europe, or in certain parts of Asia. But today we're just gonna focus on um for our you know Filipino fellow Filipino workers. Again in the VPO IT sector, right? So I'm gonna give you a little bit of smart strategies for your career growth. Of course, um, here. Getting promoted isn't just about clocking in and clocking in early, staying late. today's fast-paced environment, especially in the Philippines, we also look at work ethics, right? And this applies across different sectors in BPO, marketing, admin. Climbing the ladder involves more than just delivering your results, right? You need to demonstrate that you're thinking beyond your role. So it's not just doing good at what you do at your current role, but thinking ahead. So are you solving problems, improving processes, contributing to your team's growth? And are you being visible for the right reasons, right? Not for the wrong reasons, which I can we can already cite a few. We have a recurring example in mind, but um,
Yeah.
we we want to get the ball rolling. So here's your overview. We're going to cover real world tactics, mindset shifts that fast track career advancement. How do you increase your visibility? Right. What is the importance of building relationships with key decision makers? Because at the end of the day, um, it's someone will have to decide for your promotion, right? And how do you what is the importance and how do you build relationships? And how do you communicate your contributions without sounding boastful? How to adapt to Filipino workplace dynamics like hiya kanang mauwaw, right? And at the same time being able to get along with others. Also taking initiatives in projects that align with company's missions and metrics. How to position yourself as a future leader and not just a reliable employee. Whether you're gunning for a promotion soon or just want to stand out in your role, right? If you're being very competitive, then this conversation will give you a roadmap to move up with confidence, clarity, and cultural intelligence. Right. So first, slide already talks about um, are you um being good at what you do, right? Have you ever looked at a promoted coworker and thought, ako naman ang can you help me out here with the Tagalog phrases?
Wow. Ako naman ang masipag or maybe lagi akong maaga, lagi akong OT. Pero bakit siya ang napansin?
Right? So I get that feeling of frustration. Someone else is really being visible. Uh, Sometimes pretending to really be hardworking, but you know, um, and you ask yourself, I'm better than this person, but how come this person got promoted, right? So being good at your job isn't always enough, especially here in the Philippines, where humility is often mistaken for invisibility. Right? People get promoted not just because they're excellent, but because they're seen as ready. So that's very true. Right. So today we're breaking down the real reason behind those promotions. We're going to unpack while the most visible, strategic, and aligned employees are often the ones moving up, while others, even the hardest workers, are left wondering nga anong sila may promote, right? So stick around because this episode will shift the way you see promotions and more. And more importantly, the way you position yourself for that promotion, right? Um, so criteria. So it's not really every company is different, right? But pretty much every leader or the ones that promote kind of thinks the same. Whether they're conscious about it or not. So and again, promotion isn't just about skills, because if it were, then the most technically skilled person in every team would be the boss by now. But it doesn't turn out to always be the case. So you know, we're showing you that there are three big levers at play when it comes to promotion. So again, every company is different, but most of these things overlap. This is taken on experience of other people, based on my sources, and from my own experience also, and from everyone's experience in the team. So skills, of course, is a given. What you can do currently at your role and what you can do. So this covers potential as well, right? What you can potentially do, if once you're in that role, once you get promoted, your visibility, who knows what you can do, right? So it's not just enough that you know how you do it, but who are the people that knows that you can do it. Politics, how will you play the game? So politics is very very predominant, right? And Kay has a lot of things to talk about, especially in office politics. FFC has his own fair share of office politics.
Yeah.
Is there
But
anything you'd like to add? Go.
right.
Okay. So, would you like to go ahead, F, or
No,
should I go?
I just want to read one of a Reddit post that really hits the spot when talking about promotion. So one of the Reddit or posts says, almost 3 years na ako sa current job ko. Consistent naman ako sa ginagawa ko. So when you mentioned that it's not all about skills, just skills, consistent naman ako sa ginawa ko, yung work ko. Pero hanggang ngayon, wala pa rin akong promotion. Ang masakit pa, yung mga bagong hire, mas nauna pang na-promote kesa sa akin. It really, well, when you say that it's not about just the skills, it's about how your visibility, and that we should advise this Reddit poster.
Right.
Okay. So,
Diba? Go, go, Kay.
yeah, I mean, if we're really talking about promotion, I do believe that in a standard organization, those I mean, your skill set is really the determinant of your being promoted. Like, if we're looking at a very fair organization and structured organization, they have a certain metrics to assess you if you are ready to be promoted or not. Uh, Maybe they are CB4. There are a lot of type of how to assess your skills and your. But this assessment is not only looking into I mean, to your skill set. It also looking at your numbers, right? So it also gauge your let's say here your attitude. That's one, because once you're promoted, you will be handling people, so they are also looking at if you are capable to handle people, handle stress. So there are a lot of variables, no, in terms of you are ready to join the leadership team. But in most cases in organization in the Philippines, there's always politics. Politics plays a bigger role. It defies all assessment if you have a very good politics skills. So that's what happened here. Like, if you are an let's say you're coming from an individual contributor, let's say an agent, right? And kabibes mo parate si TL. So you smoke together with your team lead, you hang out, you drinks with your team lead. So your team lead now will look for a way to find a promotion for you. Somehow your team lead can um what do you falsify all information skills, right? Just for you to move up. Your team lead can kiss your manager's ass for you to get promoted. So it's somehow for me, it happened to me back at my previous organization. This is the first time I climbed up the the corporate ladder. Um, Although the skill set is there, but during that time, I don't want to be promoted. I'm a happy camper person. I love what I do, but somehow my team lead stressed me out because he has a lot of add-on tasks like monitoring the quality, those things. So I did all those during my free time, but also he saw that there's a potential to be a leader, right? So but at the same time, we're very close friends. So politics plays a role there. He looked for a manager. He asked the manager, since I don't want to be an operation. He went to the quality team, who's the manager. He's asked there. Every week he send cakes over. Sometimes although he doesn't like the manager, he's somehow about to court the manager. Or para na siyang na just for me to get on. I mean, get on that job or mahire. But same times, I have the skill. I know Excel. He taught me a lot, so I know some stuff. I'm ready. So those are the things. But there are also things I've seen. This most of the cases that uh, politics really plays a role. Like you kiss your manager's ass. Like even though it's not right, you do it. Sip, sip, right? There's a lot. Late siya ganun. Ano yung ginawa niya? So, those are the things can get you promoted. But, and this is like a pandemic, no? If you got a person, or let's say you're a person promoted from that kind of promotion, most likely that will be carried over to the next person.
Right.
That's it.
So yeah, definitely three things. The three big levers were all exhibited in your example. Okay, right? So you know you got the skills. You just need someone to recognize your skill, which in your case was your friend. And now your friend did a little bit of politicking himself to try and convince the decision makers that you're worth a shot, right?
Right.
And in contrast to the Reddit poster that F mentioned, na skills lang, and there that person is envious of people that are newer, relatively newer. Then they got promoted because probably they're not visible enough. Again, it's like what the bullet says. You can be the most skilled person in the room, but unless it's sports, then no one else can see you if you're that skilled, right? Um, no one's looking at you. No one will notice you if you're basically flying under the radar, and your chances of getting promoted will definitely drop. So you need someone who knows how good you are. um the more people that knows what you can do, the more visible you are, and the more visible you are, the more easier or smoother, right? Take out any one of these levers can can make or break your promotional plans. And later on, what's good about this session is that we will have some tips and common mistakes that we do that we will talk about. For now, let's move on a little bit. So we looked at ask managers and confirmed and looked at history of promotions, especially in my current workplace, and probably the rest can relate. Now, why don't we talk about what managers actually look for? Because it's not always the person who's the busiest or the loudest. Said so. Most managers, when deciding who to promote, are thinking in terms of trust, right? So all of these things have or most of these things have to do with relationship building, right? Or your character. Like number one, trust. Can I rely on this person to make good decisions when I'm not around? So you need someone who will step in, and perhaps not maybe 100% fill your shoes, but um just a little bit that can keep things afloat or keep things stable when you're not around. Can you really trust? And again, trust comes with reliability. If they're not reliable in their own deliverables, then trust cannot be achieved, right? So you have to ask, do they deliver consistently, not just once in a while? Like, yeah, yeah, ask them to do something. Is it done consistently? Dili kayo sikag ka ng monitor and all that. Initiative. Do they wait for it? This one for me is really a bonus and a big check mark. Do they wait for instructions or do they proactively solve problems? Right? Um, that covers a lot of grounds like problem solving. It can also cover trust, right? Because you didn't know there were problems happening and until it was raised and it was
Mhm.
already fixed. So that's definitely a good thing. And then
Critical thinking.
culture fit. Go.
Yeah, I just add the critical thinking when you talk about initiative is your critical thinking, analytical thinking, all the thinking, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also
Yeah.
your knowledge, basically your knowledge, and not just the work that you do or something that's outside the box. So that's the initiative.
Right. And
Right.
and it's a
Um,
matter of putting your knowledge into display. Di ba, Ken? Go, Ken.
yeah, I mean, agree. But if you really find someone uh, with all this, what the manager is looking for, same goes with all the levers that we mentioned earlier. This is a successful promotion, right? You really have a leader that is perfectly fit to your organization and will really help your organization to be a successful one and growth. However, if this is not the case, then you know what will happen, right? I think we've been to several organizations that there are leaders who are promoted, and none of the above has these characters, right? Eventually, they will fail. Um, Organization also will fail, given with our experience, JR, right?
Right.
You have a general manager who is not perfectly fit to the organization, however, promoted because of maybe politics, right? Or
Yeah.
even though it doesn't have the skills. So look what happened to him. So most of the time, those are the leaders that jump from one organization to another because of their failure.
Right. And that's why we have this podcast for you guys, you know, so that you don't just, go jumping around asking for promotions and, not knowing you should, what you're getting into in the first place, right? Because the moment you get promoted, you're not just in charge with your own livelihood or your own job, but you'll be thrusted upon the lives of others that you will be managing or supervising, right? So you need these things in order for that to become successful. Otherwise, you're just scamming your way around that promotion. And in reality, you just want to get an increase in your salary with less responsibility, which is not a good which is not a good mindset. All right. Um moving on. So having said all of those, right? So now we understand the promotion criteria, the three big levers and the four key promotion criteria. So now reflect to yourself and think that if you're feeling stuck despite your hard work, then it may not be, or chances are, eh, most more often than not, it may not be a skill issue, right? Might be a time to ask yourself, am I visible in the right way or with the right people? Do I make my manager's job easier? Am I showing that I'm ready, not just capable, right? So that's just the first step you need to do. And, from doing the job well to being seen as someone who can lead it. Sometimes magud murag sa atong una-una ara na magnako ba nga we can do it. But we're not really showing it, right? It could be true that you can do it, but unless you put that on actual display, then no one will know about it, and chances are you will fall again under the radar. So in the next section, we're gonna talk about some tips. Uh, especially in the BPO or in the corporate setting, right? I want to extend it to corporate setting, because it can also apply. All right. So let's just backtrack a little bit. Earlier we talked about understanding the promotion criteria. This should be the what are we looking for, um or what are the managers looking for, your managers looking for when it comes to promotion. um but we haven't really addressed but later we will address the how and what not to do, right? And a common mistake. But no, we haven't understand or discussed the why. Why do you want to get promoted, right? Pretty much, mostly, you know, um, if you ask me, it's more on advancing your career, right? You don't want to spend 10 years, 15 years, um, in the same position over and over. There's no, I mean, of course, it can vary. So I'm just sort of just generalizing, but in my case. I don't want to stay stuck in in the rank in file for say longer than 5 years. Maybe that's too much. Um, there. So and you wanna experience having that responsibility to be able to lead others too, just like how you were led. It could be a positive or negative experience, like you had a positive experience with your former boss and you wanna replicate how he does that or he or she does that to you, and replicate that on how you manage your people. But on the negative side as well, like I did not have a good experience with my manager, so I want to see if I can manage people and not the way my manager did it. Right. So kind of like a positive or negative motivation to be promoted. But there's also an added bonus to that, right? The increase. So later on, we're gonna talk about that. Alphas has prepared some stories for you guys, but for now, we're going to address the how, right? Um, there are some tips that we're gonna talk about. It's probably about 10 of these that we're gonna discuss. And then later on, the rest of the guys will share some of their thoughts on this. So again, this is not just a BPO, but it can be applicable to corporate life as well. Number one, speak up in meetings, right? So second lever talks about visibility. Then you need to speak up. But you don't have to have like a TED Talk. You don't have to have ano tawag na kanang wali bitaw sa pari. You don't have to do that. You just um have kanang some sort of statement or a comment. Even some kanang environments, cultures, or organizations would actively call out those that have not spoken yet to just share their piece. And even if you don't wanna speak, you'll be asked to speak nevertheless. But not all environments are like that. So you have to present your position, because if you want to be seen as a leader, then you have to speak your mind and speak your piece. It doesn't have to be argumentative or to spark a debate, but it can be just sharing your opinion, your thoughts, such as I agree with that, and here's why. So if there's a topic on yan na reinforce and it was clearly explained, then you can just simply, yes, I actually agree with that, and then you can expound. Here's why. Something nga wala man-discuss previously. But if na-discuss na, there's no point repeating that same thing, because you're only extending the meetings also, right? Also, can we explore another option based on this? Um, just to echo what F said, I saw a similar issue, right? And you don't have to say it every, like 5 to 10 minutes. You can say it like once or twice during the meeting. Just the point here is that um you're
Mm.
being present in the meeting, you were listening, and you want to share your thoughts. Uh 2 and 3, project updates to highlight contributions without bragging. All right. What is bragging? Bragging is I finished the Excel report. Highlighting contributions gives a little bit more detail. I finished the Excel report to clean up the dashboard for better readability. What's in it for them? It should speed up review time by 20%, right? It shows impact and ownership. You're not just doing work, you're thinking like a problem solver, which they love. When you have the opportunity to do project updates, right? It could be an email. It doesn't have to be in a PowerPoint presentation. Um, 3, volunteer for low risk leadership tasks, right? Kayo, lead monthly birthday shout out, organize 5-minute icebreakers during huddles, offer to draft team templates or guides, be the timekeeper or note taker in meetings. They might seem small, but for me, as a manager, and I got someone like this bitaw nga ako yung volunteer, it's already a good plus. But sometimes we can be wary or murag lah, weird this ni volunteer because it's not normal. But you just have to take it with a grain of salt, right? If they want to volunteer, then go for it, right? Because not everyone will have the courage kay kalalagay mauwaw or unlocking on nga sip-sip and all that, right? And it only becomes that if the intention is different. If the intention is really to lead the team, kanina bitaw, first bullet. If the intention is really to give a shout out to those who are having birthday, then that's fine. But if really the intention is just to be present, to be acknowledged without really caring about nya kontra din na nila niya kanang gipang shout out. Ano ba? So if it contradicts to what they do, murag mga people will know, right? Um like timekeeper or taking notes, volunteer ka take notes, and then you kung other meetings nga wala ang manager, you don't volunteer to do that, you're hesitant, or in fact brush it off when you're asked to do that, then there's going to be kind of conflicting kind of impressions from your teammates. So genuinely volunteering is different. This is the one that it's talking about, right? Not the kanang kanang pakitang hilas, right? So we're three tips in. Guys, what is there anything you'd like to share? Oh, good. Okay, sige, well, let me
Oh,
just
good.
proceed. All right. Build a mini personal brand. Yes, even in a corporate setting, you get your own mini personal brand. Your reputation is your mini personal brand, right? How you carry yourself. Um, even the way you dress, right? Is part of your personal brand. So again, you don't have to go through the long distance. We just have to start small, baby steps. A clear polished email signature with your name, title, maybe a motivational quote. Achievement, not so much siguro. Especially in the Pinoy mindset kay biya ibalandra jud. But I don't see too much problem with this if someone uh if a direct report of mine does this in their signature. Wow, amazing. But that's a small thing. It doesn't have to be kuan. Next, use LinkedIn or your Slack team profiles to share useful insight, wins, or shoutouts. Uh Yes, yes, definitely. Keep your tone consistently respectful, reliable, thoughtful in every message. Remember, professional consistency. You're shaping how people perceive you, even in small day-to-day interactions. Again, it's emboldened, naka-highlight siya, professional consistency. It's like what I mentioned earlier. Uh, it has something to do with your intention. If you don't like taking notes when your boss is not around, and you volunteering taking notes when the manager is present, is not showing professional consistency. So it only raises your teammates eyebrows. Muna siya. Just be consistent, and sooner or later your teams will even acknowledge you for being consistent, and you become like a unanimous candidate. Yeah, yep, this guy is this guy checks out, has been really consistent. Of course, at first, there'll be a little bit medyo kuya ko, he's putting himself, because Pinoys can be like that, right? At first. So, and if you don't think people will do that, then think again, because they do. But only in the latter part, when you've established, you have a clear personal brand, you're being consistent at what you do, and you're not kind of itong stepping on other people. You're just being consistent with your goal to be promoted, to be visible, um, to be visible for that promotion. Then people will respect you for it.
So,
Know your
so I
KPI,
got a
and
question.
oh yes, go.
So here comes the Pinoy mentality or the crab mentality that says na added workload na naman pero no increase. So a question would be, should you add work load to your work regardless if there is an increase, or where is the line that you need to draw from that says too much, the workload is already too much and I'm still not getting any visibility or not even close to getting that promotion, because it happens, especially in the Philippines where managers take advantage of your willingness to volunteer work. All right. So,
Yeah, that's a very good and a practical example. That's actually not covered here, so we're gonna address that. Um, in the U.S. culture, siguro usually starts off with that. What's in it for me? Before you consider me, before adding on responsibility, what's in it for me first? Is there a guarantee that um I will get an increase, I will get a raise, right? Raise. Medyo na,
mhm.
that's the third term. Do I get a raise? Even mga kudos, you should get a raise, you should get a raise. Medyo na nga mindset. Now, in the Philippines, mga good na setting, the I would say 70 or probably lesser percent of in the middle to upper management are old school people, not necessarily boomers. There's Gen X and not and Gen Y or the millennials, and usually the thing with that, if that is the majority of the composition of your um decision makers, then you do the you put your feet forward first, and then you take the so na- you
Reap the rewards.
pay it forward, yes. You
Yeah.
put in the
So
work first. Go Ken.
yeah, I mean, I, I just need to react on that, because this reaction is coming on the perspective of an individual
Agent.
contributor, yeah,
uh
or agent, right? Those are the things. But if you're going to look at it on a manager perspective, I think all three of us are already on that position and we can relate, right? Um,
right.
we do have a clients, right? So clients have um, has a contract with our BPO that this is the payment scheme, right? We need to pay. I mean, we have a billing based on the contract that this is our rate per hour. But from time to time, the client has something to add. But this is a struggle of a manager or the one who operate. I mean, who runs the operation. Because what are we going to do? So it's not that all managers can work on that, right? If this is something that an individual contributor can work on or within their skill set, I mean skill set, right? I know the manager has a skill set of managing the people, but not whatever the IC is doing, right? So technically, we hand it down to them as additional task. But the question there, does the manager has a capability to raise your pay? No, right? Because
Yeah.
increasing your pay is should be done within or entire organization. All right. We have some, I mean, protocol to follow because if we can do that, then there will be a misalignment in terms of pay. Dito naman gagaling yung mga agent, mas malaki yung pay niya kaysa akin, right? So that's the struggle in a BPO setup. But when an IC join the organization, it's part of the interview if are you flexible, right? And their answer is yes. So this is part of the flexibility, right? Schedule change, there will be. So it's stipulated that this, and also when the time that you sign the contract, there's a responsibilities and role there, but it's somehow generic, right? This is but it's not naman siguro no na let's say here na if it's I mean if it's customer service, you manage customers, right? Maybe hindi naka-indicate yung emails ba, phones ba, or calls. But here comes times na you're really taking in calls. Or let's say here you are taking emails, but the client has an initiative to try another medium of communication, such as SMS. So but wala tong additional, 'di ba? So it's part of the pilot. Maybe the organization later on can renegotiate if this will be kanang going forward, 'di ba? Or okay ba to? So since we already have added tasks, that's during after renewal of contract, right? We can
Mm.
only do that. So that there will be an increase based on the job tiering. But the problem there is, let's say here wala. So wala talagang ma-provide na na increase. So that's somehow what happening, but it's not an additional task. It's also part of the manager to assess if, oh, my people are already overload. I don't think they can do it. So that's the time that the manager
Yes.
can somehow renegotiate, right? So my people right now is working 7.5 hours per day. But based on the workload, if we have this, they will be working 9 hours a day, not I mean removing the a break and lunch. So which one that we're going to remove? But most of the cases, the manager do not care at all.
Right. Very good. Very well said, Ken. So it depends, individual contributor. Yes, you have to have that added flexibility. As a rank and file employee, wherein you have set of kind of itong predetermined na imong mga roles, imong day-to-day task, and then here comes this leader nga mag-add sa imong task. Like, is it worth it sa tawag gani, is it worth it sa increase if the increase is not that kuan. So mo na siya going back to that point.
Right. So
Um
also I'd like to add more
yeah,
on the added workload. Uh, if you are a rank and file and your manager gives you more load, that means he trusts you more. More
right.
responsibility means more trust. And think of it as, so this is my advice for all those BPO or who wants to be promoted. Um, think the workload as new learnings, a new workload, new learnings. That means though it's outside of your job description, but it gives you a challenge to learn new things, uh, and makes you more. How can you say? Makes you more
Competitive.
valued. Oh,
Add
competitive. Yes, at
to
the job.
your skill set. Right. Right.
Right. So, go ahead, Jer. That's just my take on it.
Right. And I hope that person bitaw wala niya gi-verbalize kay for me that's a turn off, like pila man akong increase ani someone says that to me and then after kuan murag you're not in the right mindset, so it's a turn off. Um I'm just gonna go over someone who wants to do it just to develop their kuan kind of that's for development. Um but again, if they've been doing that kuan sad for 5 years na niya murag kuan lang without any clear, it's up to you sad as a leader sad, to set proper expectations and it all has something to do with promotion. But very good points, K and F. So there you go. Um, Now, knowing your KPI, of course, this is basic. This is more fall under the skills lever, right? If you don't hit your KPI, then don't even think of getting promoted, right? Exceeding them, yes, definitely. It's a basic, it's a given if you wanna get promoted. Again, the three levers: skills, visibility, and politics. So if you can't meet your KPI and or exceed them, then you will not be visible in a positive light. If you're not visible in a positive light, then people will talk about di man siya kahit marina na ba? So it's gonna stain, but is it the end? No, definitely. You're gonna address your KPIs first. Know your KPI. When it says knowing what your KPI is, it's more than just knowing the definitions. You have to understand how to hit your KPIs there. So five, very basic. Six and seven, asking smart questions. This is similar to number one. Uh, kanang having that voice in a meeting. Now, asking smart questions, uh, yes, but you have to take it with a grain of salt. So, this is depends on your intention. Again, if your intention is just to sound smart, then might as well reserve it later for when your real questions arise, right? Like if you're really interested, or if you're really curious, then you can ask. So I'd like to know, or I was thinking about what you said regarding the topic at hand. Would it be helpful or like more on suggestion, right? So this means that again you're listening, and you'll be noticed. Majority of the time, especially kanang kuan, if you don't like to be promoted during meetings, murag medyo mag back and forth yun na imong utok, go in and out of the meeting, mo check out, thinking about something else, and then balik na sa the meeting. That's very common. But if you want to get promoted, you have to be engaged in that meeting. You have to invest your attention. Number seven, schedule one-on-one check-ins, even informal ones. You don't need to wait for your boss to schedule feedback. Uh, you know, this sounds very, again, in the Filipino nga murag mindset, murag, uh, mauwo to, dilita mo. But, uh, hey, Mr. Supervisor, is it okay if we can schedule a quick one-on-one? I just want to know where I stand as far as promotion goes. So everything has to do with delivery. Like you cannot just demand, but you one-on-one the next week, sir, or ma'am. Or pwede tayo mag-one-on-one today because I have something to say. Usually, basta mga inana, if not delivered properly, then you know
Right.
that
I would
that's
like to
the
add also
that's a
just
go
one
go.
thing. Just a quick thing. Just this one on one. You would know that you're up for a promotion or you're someone the manager sees as a reliable person if they do informal or accept the informal one-on-one schedules. I tell you, if they don't like you, they would always say, next time, oy, nah." I'm sure of that if they don't like you. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
the one-on-one informal meetings is one way to gauge yourself if you're really you're in consideration for promotions or stuff like that.
Right. Very good. Very good. Yeah, that's actually true. But before you do this, make sure you have number five. You have number four, number three. Right. No, one, two, and six are pretty much murag kuan, something like kind of like an icing on the cake. But if you've done your number three, or you're given number three by that same leader, and then because you have number four and you're consistent with your number five, then kani and you find out that there's an opening, then you schedule this, right, to start. I was hoping I would like to express my interest in applying for this, blah, 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 blah. As then kada sa one-on-one. And then marag part halfway through, or probably a month after, you can request for a check-ins. Then kana you can gauge if you are kind in the conversation. So yeah, very good point. Sige, we're almost there. A couple of more to go. So eight and nine, be the connector in your team. Again, find ways to help others connect faster and make work easier. Make work easier the right way, not cut corners, right? So here are some examples. Share helpful scripts or templates to your teammates. We don't want to promote someone who just hugs the information but also ilaha. We want that person to be able to connect and inspire other people, make others be better also. Also create cheat sheets, right? Not just relying on the leader. Create one. So that's initiative. Offer to mentor a new hire to help on board. Usually, kana mauwaw maghuwat na lang o assign. But you can do this. This is actually better. Like, sir, can I mentor this? I see that has been struggling with this and this. I would like to see if I can be kanang stationed near him so I can mentor this person. That's ko ano siya, music to the manager's ears. And you become the glue of the team, not the source of the chika, not the source of the mga away-away. Be the connector, not the separator, right? Uh, that's a very big difference. Record wins in a brag file. Um, this one is very technical, and yes, I definitely can agree to this. You want to organize bitaw kanang good emails, um or kanang things that you have accomplished throughout your tenure. If your company allows you to keep some sort of file like that, but if not, have like notes on your phone, because when they open up for a promotion, you can not always rely on your memory. That's why you want to record your wins, and this is easier said than done. But if you're listening to this podcast, then and if you haven't started it, might as well do it now, especially if you want to get promoted. Okay, once you list down your accomplishments, you cannot 100% accurately recall everything, right? And in these situations, you might want to record everything that is a win. So this covers positive feedback for clients or managers, KPIs, and extra tasks. Kani. You wanna keep it documented. Again, it's private. It doesn't have to be in public uh, setting. And then we got 10 and 11. So we got three more. So learn one level up. So understand the role of the next level that you're applying for. What reports do they care about? What metrics do you check every day? What pressures are they under? A good indicator that you have exhibited kanang kani number 10 is kaning number 8 plus a, right? If you want to learn one level up, then you become a connector because you understand that next level, you don't just care about yourself. Uh, from an initial sense, like as a rank and file sense, you care about other rank and files too, more often than not, because next level and you handle more than one responsibility. So that's why you think of initiatives that would help others, not you anymore. So that covers kanang metrics that matter in certain reports. So what pressures are they under? Most likely metrics are gonna. So the more you think one level up, the more naturally start thinking like a future leader, and they will notice it. Industry trends, yeah, probably, but I want to put this as a high priority, but 10 minutes a week is actually good. Just add some pages to your Facebook that has something to do with leaders or the industry that your client is in. If you're a BPO, right? So something like that will get you um ahead. So if there's multiple of you that's doing 1 to 10, and you're the only one that's doing 11, then that's an edge for you, right? But then again, it depends on how you deliver yourself, how you present yourself, how you update your brand to account for number 11, right? And then number 12 is master the art of timing. So this covers katong ni number 1 and number 6, I think. Knowing when to speak, raise ideas, or push suggestions is a soft skill that makes a big difference. It's all right not to speak sa like mo hold back sa kabat till you observe when it is it usually good time to speak. Observe when your boss is most receptive or when the team morale is high. Don't waste good ideas on bad timing. So, a final thought: in the BPO and corporate world, success doesn't only go to the most talented, it goes to those who combine competence with strategy and self leadership skills. So, these hacks, that when done consistently, can quietly build your reputation, put you on top of mind when the next opportunity comes up. Right. So, next up, we will be talking about how to leverage AI and some common mistakes. Right. So next we're going to talk about um AI tools. So we have a few more topics to go. So we're gonna cover a little bit about AI, how it can help you build your case for your promotion, right? And then later on we're gonna talk about some common mistakes you have to avoid in common pitfalls, and then we can wrap up. So again, what can help you with keeping wins journal? Then you can have these apps, Notion, or you can put it in Excel if your workstation allows for that, or allows for you writing. OneNote, or it can be an app on your phone, right? Projects you completed, raise from clients or supervisors. So the good thing about it is that once you've listed all these accomplishments, then you just put it through AI, and then you can summarize all of the wins that you've accomplished. Help you put it on your letter of intent when you're applying for the role. Use email automation, calendar tools for to track contributions, right? So you can also use your Google Calendar to track what you did. But pair it with kind of journal. Okay, it's easier to collate. Uh kuan lang, calendar helps you make sense of the timelines, like what I have accomplished. So like if your goal is to have a win at least every month, then you can have this. And then this one for recording and summarizing meetings. I think it was at number 4, or tip number 4. If you want to volunteer, taking notes, and especially if the meetings are very long, then Otter AI, I've came across with clients who also use Otter AI. It makes their lives easier. It really transcribes your what you talk about. It auto takes note. Notion AI and ChatGPT, obviously. Build a promotion file over time. Again, you can use Gemini or ChatGPT for this. Once you build up your number one and number two, it'll be easier to present yourself. But make sure that you review it ahead of time because there might be some kanang complicated terms that you use some jargons there. So might as well review it first before adding it to your cover letter. Right. And the final thought is you don't need to be loud to get noticed. You just need to be intentional. Again, everything has to do with your intent. Is your intent to just brag about it? Is it for your own ego, or is your intention really to help the team? Because at the end of the day, um, if I'm a business, I want to promote people that can help us sustain, if not grow the business. We don't want someone who just wants to be smart lang, right? Your intention must be to help the business, and by helping the business, you help, or in order to help the business, rather, you have to help your people, your supervisor or your manager. And with AI, digital tools to do the tracking, let them do the tracking for you so that you can focus on the growing. Any other ways for AI to help you build your overall resume or build your track record over time? Let us know, right? How about you guys? Anything you'd like to add?
All good.
Go ahead. Um, Go ahead. All good for
I
me.
agree.
All right.
I agree.
Okay. So now we're on to the common pitfalls that you need to do. And you probably, then this is not to make you feel bad or whatever. This is just to let you know that if you relate to any of these things, then you better all the more that you should be doing all the previous tips that we mentioned earlier. Right. So that's why we put it on the last, so that you'll absorb first what to do instead of what not to do, right? Because it can be frustrating, especially if it doesn't happen to you, if you do all these things. But many times, more often than not, it's not about favoritism or luck. It's about falling into common traps that silently hold us back. But at the end of the day, if it really is favoritism and you did everything, then that's already a win on my book, right? It means that sooner or later you're gonna get noticed and you're gonna get promoted. May it be not on your current team, but on maybe on your next endeavor. So number one, relying too much on tenure. Matagal na ako dito. Dapat ako na. Too much on tenure alone. So I'm gonna put that caveat. Relying too much on tenure. Definitely tenure is a good thing, but too much or just it alone is not, will not get you anywhere. Longevity is admirable, but tenure is not the same as readiness, right? You could be 5 years and still be coasting. That's why katong you have to really meet your KPIs and exceed them, because sooner or later, if you keep exceeding your KPIs, then chances are you're gonna get noticed and you're gonna get promoted when it becomes available. But if you're coasting, meaning mo hit karon next month dili especially if maglabi ang dili makahit bitaw. Um and then there comes this new guy, 6 months straight were able to hit their target, and sila could consider, hey, that's not fair for me. Well, well, the news for you is that um he's just seen as more reliable in terms of his performance. So that's why that person got promoted first, right? If especially if they're solving problems, taking initiative, like katong other tasks. like what's in it for me? Kanang or worth it ba na yung increase? You know, if you say things like that to your supervisor or manager's face, then definitely, but like, I don't want to go with this person. Yeah, mo pa gani, I'm still considering and is already asking for pay. So that's not a good. So pair your experience with visible growth. What new experience or responsibility have I taken in this quarter? Quarter again as well. But if you really want to be very, intense about it, every month, make sure you accomplish something every month. Be seen not just as reliable, but ready. Thinking my work should speak for itself. Actually, I also have had this mindset. And I still do certain things like tahimik lang ako pero gumagawa ako ng trabaho. This mindset is actually understandable. It feels humble, especially in a Pinoy setting, right? But in today's competitive environment, we showed to you on the previous slides how can you put yourself out there without being too kuan bitaw, being too arrogant and still being humble. So quiet excellence gets overlooked also if no one knows about it. The important thing is that there are people who know that you're doing good. So managers are juggling multiple people, metrics, and problems. If you don't show what you've contributed, it may never be counted, right? Again, highlight your wins without bragging. Use phrases like, just wanted to flag that the client I handled last week gave a 10 over 10 CSAT. This version of the report saved the 3 hours of manual work. This was number two. Be factual, not flashy. Three, being good at the job but hard to work with. Namo na ni daghan kini sila. Probably you're good at what you do, but you know, you're sort of being an asshole while you're at it. Sorry for my language, but promotion isn't about just performance. It's about collaboration, culture fit, and leadership. Think about this. Um, you are in charge with dealing not just with your metric, but you're also dealing with other people's metrics, or in this case, other people. You need to have certain people skills, especially if you want to get promoted. Even if currently you're an individual contributor and you want to get promoted, chances are you're gonna be in a team of individual contributors handling other teams also, right? But correct me if I'm wrong. But next level usually involves more than you, so you have to have people skills. You don't have to fake your courtesy, but you just know, people can learn um, working harmoniously. It can be learned, guys. Ask for 360-degree feedback and listen with humility, with the intention to learn. Promotion means leading people, not just tasks, right? So, so emotional intelligence matters as much as technical skill. Not knowing what the next level actually requires. Sometimes we assume that doing our current job is enough, but every level in a company requires a different mindset. Here, do staff or rank and file, they're in charge with doing the work. The senior staff or an SME or an SME, they're looking at improving the whole work, right? Lead or supervisor guides the people into doing the work. Manager shapes the systems and culture. So, how do you make sure that you know the next level? Well, ask your supervisor or someone that's ahead of you. What would someone need to demonstrate to be considered for the next role? And most of them don't even ask this. So what you do is, hey, Mr. Manager, I see that kanang vacant atong supervisor for a long time. What do you need, right? Anything you'd like to add, guys?
I think I'm good with this, no? But to be honest, uh, is it really let's say here being practiced? It's not, no. There's a lot of common mistakes practiced here, Kapalor, but even though there's a lot, people still get promoted. Although this is the standard or on a perfect scenario or perfect situation, but it's not happening. Anyway, we'll add more to the chika part.
True. So yeah, these are the, we want to, that's the reason why we have this podcast, so that we can, somehow try to set, what is really the norms we want, right? So we wanted to have this podcast as a way to express uh the things that are wrong in our industry. So Monisha, this is it, guys. And then lastly, Monisha, Ken, waiting to be noticed instead of asking for the opportunity. I'm not sure for the majority, but hintayin ko na lang na mapansin ako. In many workplaces, pa-humble strategy backfires. Management might assume you're not interested or not ready. Yes, and if you're ready, you have to really verbalize it. And most of the upper manager again are old school. Um, and they want you to be expressing it. So I'd like to take more responsibility. I'm interested in growing with the company. Can we set a development goal? Again, as a final line, promotions aren't just doing the work, they're about positioning, perception, and people skills. Avoid these common traps, and you'll be 10 steps ahead of most. So that pretty much we still have a wrap up, but I wanted to pick in your guys' good brains. And again, you already shared a little bit. But if we can siguro have the bad leaders listening into this, to our podcast, especially this episode, and hopefully enlighten them a little bit. If they're open-minded to that, that would be great. Diba? But let's start off with your stories, F or K.
Okay. Go ahead, Kay. I mean,
What? Say that again?
do you have something to say?
Nah, good. Just been reading a lot of Reddit posts about promotions, and everything really hits the spot with what Jay has discussed to us here. Um, Moreover, how can you fight politics versus the 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 tips that Jay has mentioned? So yeah, politics is nice, but if it's all that you can do, then it will end up blowing in your face.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there are really cases, no, na uh, a newer employee got promoted versus the tenured one. The reason for that it's not really entirely politics. Uh, that's one of the mistake or common promotion mistakes that an individual contributor can think. It's based on seniority. So, matagal na ako dito, I will be in next in line. So, it's not all the case because they need to ask their self, na, why am I still here? What have I done? Maybe the newer employee outshine the old one, right? I mean, it's pretty common. I mean, especially in the BPO industry, that a tenured employee can only do 10. However, there's a new one that can do 30. So which one are you going to promote, right? So
Right.
Especially most of the tenured one, they tend to procrastinate. They used to the target of 10. However, as the target increases to 20, they still stay at 10. But the organization did not end the contract. So here comes the new one. But by the time during the onboarding, an expectation of 30 target was set. So they will really tend to reach the target and they will be able to reach it, right? So this time now, the new employee outshine the tenured one. So why are you going to let's say here promote the tenured? So those are the things, especially if they are really tenured, they are prone to um hesitant to change. From time to time, especially in an organization whose aim is to grow, there are a lot of changes. What's only constant on this organization is change, right? So if the manager cannot properly set proper expectation on what's the change for, why we are doing it, what's our goal, definitely these people will not move up. So it doesn't mean man na wala lang kay buhaton ma-promote ka because you're tenured. So I agree with that. That's it.
All right.
Oh,
All good, F. Thank you, Kay.
All good.
All right.
So
So, huh?
yep. So we're all good. Yeah.
Sige. All right. So, why don't we wrap up and give you guys the key takeaways. So, let's bring it all back together. The three big levers would be skills, visibility, and um politics. So it could be positive or negative politics, but it does happen. And sometimes, it can be like what F mentioned, blow up in the face of the organization. Well, that's a risk that they took, right? For here, we're gonna give you guys the right path to being promoted. Um, so here goes. So add value, be visible, align with what the team actually needs. So adding value, this doesn't just mean working hard, it means working smart. It's about asking how can I make things better for the team. So this way you're thinking like an SME already, or there towards being a supervisor. How can I solve the problem, not just complete a task? So these are things that should be asking. The level of compensation that you get depends on the smarter questions that you ask or how smart the questions you ask. That's how you go up the ladder. Number two, be visible. Being great at your job isn't enough to enough if no one knows about it, right? You don't have to be very showbiz or loud, but you do need to make your work known. Documents your wins and your growth. Visibility isn't arrogance, it's advocating for your progress. It's aligned with what the team and the company actually needs. At the end of the day, we're working for businesses, right? And it's all about how we can sustain and improve the business. So that's ultimately the goal of getting promoted the right way. So, final words. You don't need to wait 5 years or kiss up to anyone or even get burned out. If you're consistent, intentional, and open to feedback, you can move up with confidence and clarity. All you have to do is just take the next step, whether that's talking to your manager, updating your wins journal, or simply speaking up at the next meeting. Small moves, but big future. All right, chika session. Ken, all good.
kana, kana. Gusto mo
All
itong
right, sige.
tsikahan?
What do you guys have?
Your manager before?
Yeah, I mean, in reality, Mongol, yeah, actually, you're right to point that out, Ken. Daghan og mga things, yeah, that's not readily observable to the current organization. So daghan jud og na promote on the wrong reasons. And now they're still working. Nag-politics na, nag-author na, di ba?
Ano, nag-content creator na. So, I
Well,
mean, I mean, there are really a lot of people no, na though they I mean, we know naman that there's always a shortcut in terms of promotion, and that is politics. Uh, so other knows that, I mean, especially those people na they have a really high goal. Think kanang di ko kasabot kana bitong they know, I think they know that they are incompetent but they really aim high. So a good example is my manager back at Insured. Um, he knows that he knows nothing. He has not done anything that improve his skills. All what he wants is to climb the corporate ladder. Yeah. So these type of people are selfish. They are not really care about the organization. All they care is their title. And sometimes this is their way of ano say tawag ninyo ana? Kanang somehow compensate ba? I mean denial in terms of they know that they're not really competent. So through title, they can perceive it na they are incompetent. I mean they are competent, but it's not happening.
yeah, gives them the validation, the false validation nga they're really worth something, wherein deep down they feel empty because they care about other things. Yeah, again, it all has to do with intention. What really is your intention? Is it to help the company, or is it really to get some girls? You know what I mean?
Some money and power.
Yes.
But the man in power is for him to get girls.
All right. How about you, F?
Uh, so just read another Reddit post. So, ayun na nga, may bagong supervisor kami. Fresh pa siya, as in bago sa account. Less than 3 months. Pero guess what? Super favorite siya ni senior team lead. As in todo support. So si super team lead, senior team lead, sorry. Tinuruan siya ng lahat ng process sa account. Even if we're divided by departments, pero itong si favorite TL, natutunan na halos lahat. Then one day, si TL nag-official leave of absence. But in reality, nag-apply sa ibang company. But si STL, defend, nakabalik ulit sa company. So, and what's worse for you daw is, she's now the lead supervisor. So
No?
she, wala siyang team, pero lead supervisor. So,
Yeah, that's the problem with not hiring the right first people based on fit. Purely like what Kay said, that's purely conjud kanang politics, diba? because you do everything in in your power and what you can to protect that the person that you hire or the person you promoted. It's not about caring for the kuan, about the company's growth. It's kuan it's kinda how many friends do I have in this organization? How many friends I can bring in without really looking at kinda what they can do bitaw first. All right. How about you, Kay? Anything to add?
I think that's it from me.
All right. Sige, so let's wrap up, everyone.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So that's a wrap, guys, for this episode of Slam. Stress less and automate more. We hope you're walking away with fresh insights, practical tips, and maybe even a little inspiration to take back control of your workday. Whether you're tuning in from home, the office, or somewhere in between, just remember it's all about working smarter, not harder. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, share, like, with uh, your friends. Got ideas or feedback or want us to cover, reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep slamming your way to a more productive and stress-free work life. All right,
There
bye.
you go. Bye. Bye,
Nice
everyone.
now.